Good morning, Year 1, and welcome to our final lesson about hot and cold places. So today we're going to have a think about how animals have adapted to live in hot and cold places, and then we're going to have a go at identifying which animals live in hot places and which live in cold places. So when you're ready, we'll get started. So when we talk about hot places, we're looking at places like this: tropical islands, deserts, and very hot, dry places in the middle of the world. When we're talking about cold places, we're talking about places that have got snow and ice. We're talking about frozen tundra, which is this kind of landscape, and we're talking about landscapes like Norway, where there's fjords and there's tall mountains and very little greenery. Okay, so those are the places we're talking about. Shall we meet some of the animals that live there? Okay, so I want you to tell your grown-up what you think these animals might have in common. All of them live in cold countries. Brilliant. Some really good ideas. Let's give you a few of the ideas we've had in class. Well, for a start, all the mammals have very thick fur, even this seal here. And also, they are actually quite fat. They have a layer of fat underneath their fur or underneath their skin that helps, or underneath their feathers in the case of penguins, that helps keep them warm. And the third thing they generally are is they've got a lot of light colour. You notice it particularly in the polar bear and this snow hare, and also in the penguins, so that makes it much harder for them to be seen. In this moose, it tends to live in slightly different countries and it relies more on its antlers for protection. Whereas the killer whale here is white from underneath and black from above, so that it will blend in with the rocks and it's hard to see against the very clear sky. Okay, so that's some of the things they have in common. And now let's have a look at the animals in hot countries. Have a go at describing what you see here and what things they have in common. Okay, so I bet you thought these three have got something in common, but they've got very little hair. Well, this one is a crocodile and that's a reptile, so it wouldn't have hair anyway. But these two have got hardly any hair and thick skins. These ones here, these four here, have got colours that are very sandy and light, which enables them to hide in there, or breaks up and makes it difficult to identify individual ones. Then we've got this tree frog here, and we've got a monkey here. Again, the monkey's got similar colours to these. Okay, if they have got fur, it's generally quite loose. So that, and there's not much of it if you look on everybody but the lion, because again, that would make them sweat and get too hot. Okay, what we're looking for you to do is have a go at finding animals and saying where they live. So there's two different zones we're looking at. Okay, we are looking at these zones. We're looking at cold places and we're looking at very hot desert places. And what I'd like you to do, you can either download the resources available and cut and stick animals appropriately, which is how we're going to do it in class, or you can draw your own animals in, or draw a picture based around these two pictures and have a go at it. So in a moment I'm going to go back over those two pictures and pause for 5 seconds on each to give you a good chance to have a go at drawing them, and pausing the video while you need to. And if you can do that, and then you can send in your pictures, that would be brilliant. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to move on to the second picture. And that is the end of today's lesson. Brilliant work, Year 1.